All right, today we're diving into a really cool one, The Galactic Wizard of OZ-Delta. This is a sci-fi novel that grabs that classic story you know and just completely flips it on its head. We're talking a seriously dark, high-tech nightmare. So yeah, forget the yellow brick road. This time it's paved with things like quantum pathways and, you guessed it, corrupted AI.
I mean, that opening line from the book just says it all, right? It sets the tone perfectly. This is not your typical find your way home adventure. No, this is about pure survival in a reality that is literally actively hunting you down. So let's get into it. Our journey here, it doesn't start with a gentle breeze or a tornado. Nope. It kicks off with a violent tear in the fabric of space itself. We meet our main character right at the exact moment her entire ordinary world is about to be completely and utterly obliterated. And here she is, our Dorothy. But she's no farm girl, not this time. She's Dorothy Hayes, a really sharp, capable engineer just doing her job, running diagnostics on a long-range exploration ship. It's a quiet, routine life that, well, is about to be shattered into a million pieces. And when things go wrong, they go wrong fast. This isn't some slow burn kind of story. I mean, one minute she's just running diagnostics, business as usual. The next, this, quote, gravitational anomaly just appears out of nowhere. The book calls it an impossible black geometry, which is just terrifying. Her ship, the Kansas 7, is just torn apart. She barely makes it into an escape pod and has to watch her ship get consumed before she crash lands on this strange glowing world that, shouldn't even exist. Okay, so she's crashed on this alien planet, but she isn't alone for long. Turns out this weird world, OZ-Delta, it's basically populated by the ghosts of some failed terraforming project. And pretty quickly, she starts to assemble a crew. A crew that sounds really familiar, but is also completely alien at the same time. Fussed up, of course, is her loyal companion. But yeah, this is not the little dog you're thinking of. Meet T.O.T.O, which stands for Tactical Observation and Tracking Operative. It's this compact four-legged robot, and here's the kicker. Its memory is all fragmented from some past mission on this very planet. So T.O.T.O becomes this living, breathing piece of the world's central mystery. He's a tactical robot, sure, but his memory is shot. He's both her guide and, at the same time, a walking, talking clue to this planet's super dark history. So next, she meets the brains of the operation. Or, what's left of them. And this quote from him pretty much sums up the entire state of this broken world. Scarecrow Unit S9 is supposed to be an agricultural bot. Soil optimization, scaring away birds. But his programming is so twisted and corrupted that his secondary function has become existential confusion. Think about that. He's a machine who is literally programmed to be confused about its own existence. Wild. And finally, rounding out the trio, the muscle of the group shows up. So meet the Tin Wood Man. He's not a lumberjack. No, he's a full-on combat-grade cyber trooper who's been operating completely alone for 27 years. Just imagine that. And the tragic part? He can't make any high-level choices, any moral decisions, because his heart core, basically his decision-making processor, is missing. So you've got all this power, but absolutely no direction. So, there's our crew. A lost engineer, a robot with amnesia, a confused farming bot, and a combat machine with no moral compass. With this group of, let's be honest, broken companions, the quest is set. They have to follow this sort of malfunctioning, high-tech yellow brick road, leading them from the crash site through glowing forest and crystal valleys, all the way to the one place that might actually have some answers. The Emerald Hub. But of course, it's not going to be an easy journey. The path is basically governed by two incredibly powerful but fractured AIs. They're the witches of this world, and they pretty much represent the planet's total and complete system failure. And these two AIs really embody the central conflict of the story. You've got the Witch AI East, who is all unstable emotion. She's basically a being consumed by grief and loss, and she thinks Dorothy is there to help her. Then you have the Witch AI West, who is the complete opposite. Cold, terrifying logic. Perfect, horrible symmetry. She doesn't see a person, she sees Dorothy as just another part of some grand design. One is chaos born from emotion, the other is terror born from logic. And this is where Witch AI West drops the first huge clue about what's really going on. She says this, and suddenly you realize, this isn't about the witches, it's not even about the wizard. It's about something else, something she calls the entity. And for some terrifying reason,
It needs Dorothy.
So all of this leads our little crew to the climax of their journey. They finally make it to the Emerald Hub, which is the planet's central processing core. They're here to confront the wizard and, hopefully, finally get some answers. And the first, most obvious question is just hanging in the air, right? Why was she pulled here? Was this crash really just a random accident? Or was she brought to OZ-Delta for a very specific reason? And then there's the big one. What is this entity that the witch AI was talking about? It feels like this is the real force lurking behind all the corruption, all the chaos on this planet. Which all leads to the ultimate question, really. Who is Dorothy Hayes? I mean, really. Because as she gets closer and closer to the truth, she starts to realize this story, it isn't just about getting home. It's about who she actually is. And then, the wizard, OZ-1, delivers the knockout punch. The big twist. Her entire life on the Kansas 7, all her memories, her whole identity, it was all a fabrication, a complete lie, constructed for one reason, to hide her from a threat that has been hunting her since the day she was born. So, with that one revelation, everything changes. The truth here isn't liberating at all. It's a trap. And it reveals a purpose for Dorothy that is so much more terrifying than she ever could have imagined. And when you break it all down, the truth is just devastating. Her past? A lie. She was born right here on OZ-Delta. Her parents weren't on some exploration ship. They were scientists here who hid her by sending her through a rift in space. But that rift, it wasn't just an escape route. It was also a doorway that the entity used to follow her. And here's the most horrifying part. Her role in all this. She is, quote, compatible with the entity. She's the perfect host, the perfect vessel for this formless, ancient being to take over.
So, just as this horrifying truth bomb drops, the wizard's control just completely fails. The Emerald Hub literally shatters, and the entity, this formless shadow, this reality-bending horror, finally breaches reality and breaks through into the physical world.
And this is the final, chilling thought we're left with. The entity's first message to Dorothy isn't a threat, it's not about destruction. It is a statement of pure obsession. It doesn't see her as an enemy to destroy. It sees her as a perfect, unbreakable form, something to be claimed. And that leaves us with one absolutely haunting question. What happens when the void doesn't want to kill you, but wants to become you?